Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear pupils and viewers, hope you are well by the grace of the Almighty Allah. I am also well by the grace of Allah. Uh, Stay home, stay safe. Avoid all kinds of intoxicants, my dear students and viewers. Today I will discuss on part two. Take question, please. You must get from this rule in SSC subject pronoun they. When will thus will subject pronoun they will be. If the subject is third person plural, whether it is any animal, person or things, if the subject is third person plural, the pronoun is they. These and those are demonstrative pronouns. Though these and those are demonstrative pronouns, but they cannot be used in take question because they cannot be in short form. Cannot be used in short form. The short form of these and those is they, third person they pronoun, and indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronoun: everybody, everyone, anybody, anyone, everybody, everyone, anybody, anyone, somebody, someone, nobody, no one, and none and neither. They are used for person, men and women, and all they are third person singular and they take third person singular verb, but their pronoun will be third person plural they. When we use auxiliary verb, we must follow they, the third person plural pronoun they. For example, the boys are lazy. The subject the boys is third person plural they, third person plural, and be verb is the main verb here. So we know when any be verb is main verb, I mean am is are was were are main verb, or have has had main verb, we can take them as auxiliary verbs. We take are as auxiliary verb. There are the sentence is affirmative, so we will make the take question negative, so we must bring a not as contracted from, aren't. And the subject pronoun is they, the boys. Instead of the boys, we use the pronoun they, because the boys is third person plural. Instead of third person plural noun, we use they. At last, we use a note of interrogation. Everybody must die. We take must and the sentence is affirmative, so the take question will be negative. We bring not as contracted from mustn't, must. And everybody will we use instead of everybody the pronoun they. And at last we use a note of interrogation. Anyone is not here. Is the be verb here and main verb, and it will be used, but anyone is third person singular, so the verb is third person singular. But when we make that question, we use we use third person plural they, pronoun they, instead of any indefinite pronoun. Everybody, everyone, nobody, no one, anybody, anyone, somebody, someone, nobody, no one, none, neither. So we take they as the pronoun of anyone. Anyone third person singular, its verb is the be verb is third person singular, but they is plural, therefore the verb will be plural. Is present from, so present from plural V verb is are. So we bring are as auxiliary verb because they plural. So the auxiliary verb are will be plural, and the sentence is negative. So the question will be affirmative. So we won't bring not. Everybody hates a liar. It is present and definite tense, subject everybody third person singular. So the head verb takes s or es. But when we use the pronoun instead of everybody, we take third person plural they. So the auxiliary verb will follow the subject third person plural they. So present and definite tense we bring do as auxiliary verb, and it will not be do or not be does because the subject is third person singular. Do or not be does because the subject is third person plural. It is they. So do, the subject is because does is used with third person singular only. We bring do as auxiliary verb in the present and definite tense, and the sentence is affirmative, so the take question will be negative. So we bring not as contracted from. Don't they. Uh, though they is plural, so the auxiliary verb is plural. Nobody hates an honest man. Nobody, third person singular. It is a universal truth, and so the present indefinite tense is used here, and nobody is third person singular, so the verb hate takes s. Subject is third person singular, so the verb is third person singular. But instead of nobody, we use they. They plural, they third person plural, so the auxiliary verb will be third person plural. So present indefinite tense, we take do as auxiliary verb. Do or not be does because the subject is third person plural. They. Does is only used in with third person singular. The sentence is negative, nobody is negative, and the sentence is negative, so the take question will be affirmative. So we won't bring not. So the take question will be do they. At last we use note of interrogation. We should use underline under the take question. We should underline the take question. These are my books. We know instead of these demonstrative pronoun these and those, we use in short form pronoun they. So we use instead of these pronoun they, the third person plural pronoun they. So are will be there, and any the sentence is affirmative, so the take question will be negative. So we bring not as contracted from aren't, and the subject pronoun will be they instead of this aren't they. At last we use note of interrogation. We remember one thing after the sentence. If we write full sentence, after the sentence we must use a comma, and after that we usually bring auxiliary verb. If we want to do contracted from, we bring not, and after space we bring the real pronoun, actual pronoun of the subject, and at last we must use a note of interrogation. Without comma or contracted from or space or break or subjective pronoun and a note of interrogation, it will be incorrect. Second from, my dear students, an examination or SSC, you will get 1 mark from this item. Another rule: all, none, some, most, everyone. After them there will be a preposition. After them, there will be, after any preposition, we usually bring objective from. All of us, none of us, some of us, most of us, every one of us. Us will be we. Subject as subject. You will be you, because the subjective from is you and objective from is also you. And them will be they. All of them, none of them, some of them, most of them, every one of them, and them will be they as subjective from. And it will be, we know, it is the subjective from, and it is also the objective from. So most of it will be the it as subjective from. For example, some of us can sing. We bring can, the modal auxiliary, and the sentence is affirmative, so the tag question will be negative. We bring not. We know cannot. The contracted from is can't. There we will omit n of not and o of not by using an apostrophe. Us will be we as subject pronoun. So can't we? At last we use an interrogation mark. All of them have seen the Taj Mahal. Have is auxiliary verb here. We bring have. The sentence is affirmative, so the tag question will be negative. We bring not as contracted from, haven't, and them will be subjective from they. And at last we use a note of interrogation. All of you, we know you is the subjective from and also is the objective from. So all of you know English. It is present indefinite tense, subject plus present form of main verb. So we bring do as auxiliary verb in this sentence. For this sentence, for present indefinite tense, do. The sentence is negative, so the tag question will be negative. The sentence is affirmative, so the tag question will be negative. So we bring not as a contracted from, don't, and you objective case will be subject you. At last we use a note of interrogation. Don't you? Some of it is. Is main verb here. We bring is. The sentence is affirmative, so the tag question will be negative. So we bring not as contracted from, and the subjective from and objective from of it is it. We bring it. At last we use an interrogation mark. Isn't it? Most of the girls are intelligent. Are is main verb here. Be verb is main verb here. We bring are. The sentence is affirmative, so the tag question will be negative. We bring not as contracted from, aren't, and the girls is third person singular. Third person plural. So we bring third person plural pronoun they. Aren't they? At last we use a note of interrogation. My dear pupils and viewers, no more today. Fi amanillah.